'Tis the season to find that perfect gift and scoop up a great deal. But this is not your typical retail store. This is Polka Tot. For owner Jenna Roy, it is the 11th year running the children's consignment sale. And each season, the crowds keep piling in.
The cheaper prices is like one of the biggest things. So everything here is on consignment. Some things are new, lots of things are pre-owned, but the prices compared to retail is like 50 to 90% off what you would find in a retail store, Target, Costco, Walmart. So the prices are huge, and resale is huge for families right now. So that's why you see the big line.
The large crowds continue to surprise volunteer and consigner Addison Tennant.
I've been consigning for probably 4 or 5 years, and it's just every time it is always shocking how much stuff there always is, how many of this exact same item stacked next to each other. It's amazing how many families are able to come and make this a part of how they're able to afford things for their kids.
You'll have to hurry to get those great deals because the doors close for good on Sunday, and Jenna says almost everything is picked out by then.
Reporting from Solvay, AJ Myers, NCC News.
That's right, last season for Syracuse was better than this season by a long shot. Fans at the start of this season were expecting the team to fight for the top of the ACC standings. That just isn't the case. Syracuse currently sits 15th and is in jeopardy of missing out on the tournament in Charlotte because of the realignment and the new teams joining the conference. It means the bottom 3 teams do not make the ACC tournament, and Syracuse in the bottom 11, their last 4 games, 3 of those teams are in that bottom 11 spot. One of those is tonight against NC State, a big matchup, but Adrian Autry isn't worried about the tournament. He's focused on winning these games that are left in the regular season.
Talk about making an ACC tournament, obviously you're talking about winning a game, so everyone knows what's at stake. So, I think at the end of the day, we just want to get prepared and, try to, win the next game, and, the one thing I can talk about these guys is they've battled all year, and I don't think that they will not battle. And then, we just got to get prepared.
Syracuse wants to get a win tonight and bolster their chances of making the ACC tournament. It starts on the defensive end. The Orange have given up 80 or more points in the last 5 games. That's something that will need to change tonight. Tip-off between Syracuse and NC State is at 7. For now, reporting from outside the JMA Wireless Dome, I'm AJ Myers, NCC News. Syracuse and Duke, a matchup that was once a staple on the college basketball slate, although in recent years it's dipped off. Welcome to sports. I'm AJ Myers. Tonight, that rivalry, if you want to spin it that way, gets renewed. Why is it not the hottest item in town anymore? Well, the Blue Devils, they've held up their end of the bargain. They're the second best team in the country. But on the Orange side, SU is 2 games under 500 and in the bottom half of the ACC. Yet Duke should still bring in a packed dome crowd. You see behind me, not too many fans there yet. It's because of their freshman phenom, Cooper Flagg. Get a look of these stats that he has put up this year. I mean, that is great stuff for just a freshman. It is highly expected that the forward is going to be selected number 1 overall in the upcoming NBA draft. What can the Orange do to stop Flagg? Well, this is what Syracuse assistant coach Alan Griffin said this morning on handling the freshman.
I just think that, when teams do a good job on him, I think it's a team effort, and I think, that's what our plan is. It's a team effort. Like, we just can't just leave our one guy on an island and let him just try to guard Cooper the whole game. I just think that that's a recipe for disaster.
Flagg has tallied over 20 points in his last 4 games. A name that should sound more familiar to Syracuse fans is Malik Brown. The forward spent 2 years with the Orange before transferring. This season, Brown's missed a chunk of time with injuries. That's why his numbers are down, but he just came back from injury Saturday, and Blue Devils head coach Jon Scheyer had high praise for Brown in his return.
He's a very smart basketball player. I want to continue to get him to shoot the ball and be more aggressive offensively, but he just impacts us on both ends because of his feel. And obviously, I think his versatility on defense speaks for itself.
Brown forced 2 steals in Duke's 17-point thrashing of North Carolina Saturday. Now the question is, can Syracuse pull off the biggest upset of the season? Remember back to last year, Adrian Autry's group knocked off number 7 UNC at home. Tonight, the Orange are 17.5-point underdogs. Tip-off from the Dome is at 7. Switching over to Syracuse lacrosse, the women's campaign gets underway Saturday against UAlbany. Yesterday, 4 players were named to the All-ACC preseason list. Of note, Olivia Adamson, she led the team in assists last year, and Emma Ward, she led the team in goals. So those 2 players are going to need to be key assets for Syracuse if they want to make it another trip to the national semifinals this year.
AJ, thank you. Let's go back to this game here. Syracuse is 0-9 in this contest since 2019. What's the key for the Orange to even just keep this game competitive?
Peter, I think it's all about a fast start. Remember back to that Stanford game? I think you were there.
Yeah.
They started off 22-0. That is unacceptable for Adrian Autry's group. You got to show Duke that you can hang with them. If it's like a 9-point deficit at halftime, I think that's a win for the Orange going into the second half.
I think keeping it close would be a win, honestly, for the Orange. We've been to too many of these Syracuse-Duke games at the Dome. Fans camp out for hours ahead of time.
Keep those fans in the seats.
That's right. You want to keep in the seats, not make it a blowout by the second media timeout.
Exactly.
AJ, thank you so much. We're looking forward to that game coming up at the top of the hour.
We're on the hill. Number 5, Syracuse women's lacrosse, not used to losing in February. Although the Orange dropped yet another game, falling to number 3 Northwestern 12-8 yesterday. The story was all about the return of goaltender Delaney Schweitzer, who spent 3 years with the Orange, totaling up 300 saves. Back in the friendly confines of the Dome yesterday, Schweitzer needed to just make 7 stops. Here's what the grad student had to say about seeing a familiar face.
I think this place is really special to me. The Dome holds a lot of memories, and I was excited to make more memories with the new squad. And I think just coming in here and playing in this sick facility was just like such a cool opportunity to have again. And
the road gets no easier for Syracuse with a visit from number 14 Clemson Saturday. The Tigers, if you remember, swooped up highly rated prospect Alexa Spallina from the Orange. Spallina will not be on the field this weekend, but Clemson is fresh off a win over 11th ranked Notre Dame. Draw time for that one is at noon. Could Juan Soto or Aaron Judge be taking a class at SU? Well, not exactly. Yesterday, Syracuse University and the Major League Baseball Players Association announced a partnership that would allow current and former players to get online degrees, certifications, and credentials. The schools that are participating are the Newhouse School of Public Communications, Falk School of Sports, Whitman School of Management, and the College of Professional Studies.